Hey guys, it's the MetalBlade 5, and welcome back to another MetalBlade Theory. This time we're looking at Batman Arkham Knight, and its 100% ending, which has confused a lot of people as to what it means. Now, there is a video that talks about basically the same thing I'm going to. However, I thought of this theory prior to seeing that video, and I do have evidence which that video does not mention. So, to make points that I'll come back to later, let's go over Arkham Knight's ending. Eventually, Scarecrow kidnaps Robin and Commissioner Gordon and takes them to Arkham Asylum, and Batman is forced to be sent there in an armored truck while leaving his gadgets behind. When reaching the asylum, Scarecrow straps Batman to a bed while a camera is on in front of them as Scarecrow takes all over all of Gotham City's news channels. Therefore, he forces Commissioner Gordon to take off Batman's mask in front of the camera to reveal to all of Gotham City that Bruce Wayne is Batman. After playing as Joker in a creepy first-person level in Batman's mind, Batman locks Joker away into the depths of his mind after an incredibly disappointing final boss battle, which causes Batman to be unaffected by Scarecrow's fear toxin, which had been injected into him numerous times. As such, Batman breaks free and literally gives Scarecrow a taste of his own medicine as he injects him with his own toxin, and takes Scarecrow, now scared out of his mind, to the GCPD to be locked up. Now that's just the normal ending. If you finished all of the side quests, including Riddler's annoying and tedious one, then you get the Nightfall ending. In this ending, Batman takes off his mask in front of the Bat Signal, which he destroys and uses the Batwing to fly back to Wayne Manor, where the media, including Vicky Vale, are waiting. Bruce then walks up to the front door of the manor, where Alfred asks if he's sure he wants to do this. And as soon as Alfred closes the door, Wayne Manor explodes, and Bruce Wayne, along with Batman, is presumed dead. Then it cuts to some unknown time in the future in which Commissioner Gordon is now mayor of Gotham City, who says that they never found who killed Bruce Wayne. And then it cuts to a rich couple and their son being mugged in an alleyway by a couple of Two-Face folks who want the woman's necklace. Obviously caught being the night when Thomas and Martha Wayne were murdered. And then this happens.
Freak, maybe you missed the news. Batman's dead.
That look don't scare us no more.
What the hell?
And afterwards, you unlock the final piece of concept art, which revealed that the shadowy figure is known as Nightmare Batman. Now, a lot of people have been wondering who or what this Nightmare Batman is, and I believe I have the obvious answer when you think about it. Bruce Wayne. Yeah, I know, not very creative, but it makes sense when you think about it. Throughout the Nightfall ending, you see that this whole thing was planned from the beginning. Before Batman destroys the Bat Signal and flies back to Wayne Manor, he tells Alfred to activate the Nightfall Protocol, meaning that Wayne Manor blowing up was all planned by Bruce Wayne himself. This is even seen when Alfred asks if Bruce is sure he wants to do this. Now, you can't argue that this was a suicide. However, I have three arguments against that. First, there is evidence I have against this later on this video. Second, Alfred was in the manor as well, so I'm sure Bruce wouldn't have allowed Alfred to die as well. And third, this was all planned, so it's entirely possible that Bruce also had a way of escaping the explosion. Plus, if the Nolan movies have taught us anything, it's that Batman can somehow escape explosions without dying, including nukes. Because he's Batman! Next piece of evidence is that in the Nightfall ending, you clearly see that Nightmare Batman is using Scarecrow's fear toxin, or at least some form of it, as when Nightmare Batman is about to jump at the thugs, it uses the same visual and audio effects when Scarecrow's fear toxin is used in the game. This also suggests that Nightmare Batman is Bruce Wayne, as during the climax, Scarecrow kept repeatedly injecting his fear toxin into Batman's neck to try to make it work. Even though the fear toxin didn't work, it would still mean that traces of the toxin could be found in Batman's body. Therefore, when Bruce returned to the Batcave, he could have taken a sample of the toxin from his body and possibly modified it to use for crime fighting. This would also help, keep, the whole fear thing that Batman tries to get off on its enemies, especially when taking into account that one of the Two-Face folks during the Nightfall ending says, "That look don't scare us no more." But Wayne Manor blew up. How could Batman use the Batcave, you might be asking? Well, the Batcave is always located underneath Wayne Manor, aside from the 40s, meaning that it could have been unaffected by the explosion, and is possibly how Bruce and Alfred could have escaped the explosion in the first place. Also, In Arkham Asylum, they show that Batman has a second Batcave located near Arkham Island, so he could have used that one instead. Also, going back to the Nolan movies, Nightmare Batman's design of the concept art heavily resembles how Batman appears under the effects of Scarecrow's fear toxin in Batman Begins, and the Arkham games do leave a lot of references to not just the comics, but also other forms of media as well. For the next piece of evidence, if we look at the caption for the Nightmare Batman concept art, it says, "Nightmare Batman, is it real?" This can also point to Nightmare Batman being Bruce Wayne, as in pretty much every version of Batman's origin story, when Bruce Wayne is starting out as Batman, no matter whether it's the comics, the cartoons, the movies, and even in Arkham Origins, Batman is believed by a lot of people to be just a myth. Whenever Bruce Wayne starts out as Batman, many people believe that Batman doesn't exist. The caption on the concept art could be a hint at this, since if this is Bruce Wayne, then it would be a repeat of when starting out as Batman, since people are not sure whether Nightmare Batman is real or not. And for the final piece of evidence, which I believe proves that Nightmare Batman is Bruce Wayne, and somewhat hints at my other piece of evidence being true, is that after you finish Riddler's side quests in Arkham Knight and defeat him with help from Catwoman, you get a cutscene of Batman and Catwoman saying goodbye as well as kissing, but there is one line of dialogue from Batman in the scene which is incredibly important. And if you take into account my other pieces of evidence, the resemblance between what Batman says, Nightmare Batman, and the Nightfall ending is very uncanny.
Gotham needs something more, something worse to defend her. She needs a new myth. A legend more powerful than I can be right now. A legend that can only rise from the ashes of the Batman.
Gotham needs something more. Something worse. A new myth. Something that can only rise from the ashes of the Batman. I'll let you think about that on your own. But regardless, this is still just a theory, and the identity of Nightmare Batman has not been confirmed by DC, Warner Bros., or Rocksteady Games, so this is still just a theory and not fact.